Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. Our first one comes from Concerned Father, Am I the Beehole? Am I the beehole for not enabling my adult daughter and telling her that I'm not paying any more for tuition unless she can give me the time of day and show me some respect? I want to start off by saying I have done everything for my children. I was there at the hospital for their births, signed their birth certificates. I changed the diapers and always provided them with food and designer clothes. But my ex is extremely manipulative and has tried to turn my children against me since day one. She manipulated my older daughter, who refused to talk things out with me. I will still forgive her once she finally decides to snap out of my ex's manipulations and comes back to me. Me and my younger daughter, Sarah, had a great relationship until she suddenly started flipping the switch in her senior year and was poisoned against me. When Sarah was applying for college, I really didn't want her to go far because she has book smarts but lacks common sense, and I didn't want her to fall for scams. I even offered to buy her a car if she lived with me and commuted to a local school. But Sarah just said that the local programs didn't have what she wanted. I found it insulting because I went to a local college and despite what my ex thinks, I'm highly educated without some PhD. Sarah did not listen to my input at all. Her and my ex barely involved me in her college application process. My ex was extremely unhelpful. I would just ask the basic questions like tuition since I'm going to be spending considerable funds. And she would either send website links. It would only have taken a few seconds for her to just answer the question, so I can stay in the loop about what's going on. But this was just a part of my ex's way of turning Sarah against me. Sarah enrolled at an out-of-state college, and I didn't even find out until May because my ex didn't bother telling me. I didn't even get to see Sarah off at the airport since she didn't tell me she had left until she was already gone. I constantly text Sarah about how things are going. I send her funny posts on Facebook and ask her to call me. I even offered to split the cost of plane fare so she could visit over the holidays. She only responds on email, and it's her always saying she's too busy. I am frustrated and tired of this. She's taking a lot of classes right now, but I'm her father, and it would only take a second of her day to just text me back or to talk to me on the phone for 5 minutes. I've supported and been providing for Sarah since day one. I am done being disrespected when I have bent over backwards for 18 years to give her everything and have sent $7,000 just this year for her schooling. I could be doing a million other things with that money. Maybe I'm at fault for enabling it so long, but not anymore. I sent an email telling her that I'm done with being disrespected, and if she can't even give me the time of day, my ex can find someone else to split the cost of her schooling with. I sent the email over 2 hours ago, and there's been no response. I know my wording might seem harsh, but I'm just so done with being disrespected. Am I the beehole? Ah, OP, I feel so bad for you, man, 'cause people like to do that. There are some, usually women, I know dudes are capable of it too, but women like to do, they usually specialize in manipulation, and that's what she's doing. That's, the oldest trick in the book, turning the father's children against them or using them as a weapon. And Sarah should know. It sounds like she wasn't there from the jump street manipulating Sarah. But I'm sorry, if someone's doing me a huge favor and paying a lot of money for me to go to college, you better believe I'm at least going to call them and text them at least. She's a fool. OP, she's gonna have to learn this lesson, and your ex has to feel the consequences of her action. If she wants to do that, if she wants to manipulate your children and turn them against you, both of them are just going to have to suffer because they don't deserve her money then. If they're going to be rude and disrespectful, do that. I would do that too, OP. She's going to have to figure it out. Obviously, she's sided with your ex, and obviously she thinks she doesn't need you, or she thinks less of you, or sees you as less than human, just an ATM for money so she can keep going to her out-of-state college. And I went to, a 2 year university before I switched over. I don't even think I went to a 4 year. Yeah, I did 2 year. That should tell you how much I cared about college. College was such a waste of time. At least I'm not in debt. I had a lot of grants. But yeah, OP, I believe you did the right thing. If she can't show you the tiniest bit of respect, you're not even asking for hours and hours of time. You're asking for a quick conversation, a quick text. Just be, respectful. So I believe you did the right thing with pulling your funding. If she's, grown enough to disrespect you and, foolish enough to be, fall to manipulation from her, your evil ex, then she's old enough to figure out her finances herself. And if the ex wants to do that, let her figure it out too. So OP, you are not the beehole, and save your money and spend it on yourself and enjoy it, cause that's not fair. That's gotta suck having your kids turned against you like that. And our next one comes from Very Cool Dad 89. Am I the beehole for yelling at my wife for firing our babysitter and making her cry because she called an ambulance? Hello Reddit, I've just downloaded Reddit because my niece said I should post the story to Am I the Beehole board here. Here I am. I am not very good with technology, so forgive me. I'll probably be messing this whole post up. So basically, here's what happened. Me and my wife hired our babysitter, who we've been going to for years. We have 2 sons and a daughter. We've been hiring her since my oldest son was a baby, though it was mostly her mom looking after the baby while she was helping. So we gave her a couple of dollars for that. She is now 16 and can look after the kids all on her own, and my oldest 2 love her. My youngest is only 7 months, so I'm not sure if he really gets it yet, but he screams relatively happy when he's with her, or seems relatively happy. This Friday, my kids' daycare has been closed for renovations, and Daisy, our babysitter, has kindly offered to take care of them after school, from 3:30 to 6 p.m. I get home from work at 6, and my wife gets home at half 6. However, I got home early from work at half 5. When I got home, I found my wife yelling at Daisy, while Daisy was just sobbing and apologizing. I asked my wife what was going on, and all she did was just start yelling that Daisy had cost us a bunch of money. My first thought was that she had broken something, but my wife wasn't telling me what it was. She told Daisy that she wouldn't be paying her for her time and to get the F out of our house and never come back or she'd call the police. Daisy then ran out crying, and I left my wife to calm down while I comforted my kids. They were all crying in different rooms while my wife yelled at Daisy. When everything had calmed down, I got the full story from my wife. So here's what had happened. My mother had been looking after the kids until 3:30 while we were at work. This was Daisy's first time looking after my youngest son, though we knew we could trust her with the babies since she looked after my daughter alone when she was a baby. Something important that you should know is that my youngest son has breath holding episodes, which occurs when he gets frustrated or in pain, and he will just hold his breath. To stop them, you just have to blow on the baby, or they'll just snap out of it on their own. They're completely normal and relatively safe in babies. However, the episodes can sometimes cause passing out and blueness. And it's normal. He usually wakes up within a few seconds. To cut a long story short, my mom forgot to tell Daisy what to do if that happens. And when my son passed out, Daisy panicked and called 911, and then my wife. My wife is now angry that Daisy called 911 for nothing, and has now wasted our money on an ambulance ride. Me and my wife are now arguing because I think Daisy did the right thing, but my wife doesn't. Yesterday we got into a heated argument. We both said some hurtful stuff, and she is now staying with her mother for a few days, while she thinks over my priorities in the relationship. Am I the beehole? No, you are not the beehole. Your wife is definitely the beehole here. That little girl does not have psychic powers. She cannot read minds. If I was in the same boat as her and I didn't know what was happening, you know what I mean? Like, oh, if you guys didn't tell me how to handle this situation, that it happens all the time, I would freak out too. I don't want a baby to die. So yeah, I would immediately get help for that child and you call 911. So I do not know where your wife is coming from. I don't know this whole having her needed to go to her mom to think about things. There's nothing to think about. She is wrong. Your babysitter thought your child was in a life or death situation and acted accordingly. Good for her being 16 and knowing to immediately call for help. You were 100% in the right. I don't know why this post has poo mode activated. Maybe it's because the wife is poo, which, yeah, because you did nothing wrong. That poor girl Daisy, I hope you went over your wife's head and paid her for her time and apologized and told her that she wasn't wrong, because she was not wrong. She thought she was in a life or death situation, and I know if I was in her shoes at my age, I'm grown, and I still would have done the same thing if I had a small baby going blue on me. And our final one comes from Lazy Cheesecake 4424. Am I the beehole for refusing to cover my scar and wearing a bikini as it triggered my friend? I, a 24-year-old female, had a cancer scare a few years back and had a biopsy done on my upper leg. The scar has faded now, but it's still fairly noticeable and about 7 centimeters long. Thankfully, it was only a scar and nothing came of it. For a while, I was insecure about it and stopped wearing skirts or thigh leggings where you could see the outline of the scar. But now that I accepted it, it's going to be there. I started to wear whatever and realized nobody cares about it apart from the odd question. We went to the beach yesterday as a friend group and I wore a bikini. I was excited to get a tan, and my friend Anna brought her other friend, Diana, a 25-year-old female. And I've met her before, don't know her very well. However, I do know she started a fundraiser for her mom, who's fighting cancer right now. Diana's family situation is quite difficult, as her dad passed away recently, and her mom has stage 4, and Diana is juggling a lot. It came earlier than Anna and Diana, so I was there already in my bikini when they joined us, and Diana was nice to me and asked about my new job. Then Anna went to say hi to others, and Diana mentioned my scar and recognized it was a biopsy. She asked if I could wear a beach cover, and it was triggering her and insensitive of me as I know her mom is going to. You didn't get a scar because it's a scar. Sorry. I said no, I'm here to get a tan, and the cover up will ruin that, and Diana didn't say anything, but didn't talk to me for the rest of the day. Today, Anna texted me telling Diana told her what happened, and while she agrees Diana's comment was weird, I should have given her a free pass, as she is not the best place mentally right now. I said it was really weird, and no I wouldn't. I genuinely don't think I'm in the wrong, and I think she's being really weird about the situation. Obviously, if I'm in the wrong, I will apologize. Okay, no, you were not in the wrong. It is a scar. You cannot do anything about the scar. And I agree with you. You shouldn't be ashamed of it. Diana, I believe that's the one, sounds like an idiot. You shouldn't bow to her. That's like me going. That'd be insane. That's like me going, hey, can you cover that scar? It reminds me of something. Doesn't matter. She doesn't get to say what you do when you're, with your body out there. And if it makes her think about things like that, that sucks, but that's the world. No one, you're not the main character. No one has to listen to you or bow down to you. You don't get to tell someone to cover up a scar because of how it makes you feel. And I disagree with Anna. No, you shouldn't have just given it to her. Sad things happen to people. I lost my grandma to cancer. I'm not going to tell people to, I don't know, cover up their grandma. But no, OP, you are not in the wrong. Do not apologize. It is a scar that you got because, you know, you had to get it. And like you shouldn't be ashamed of a scar. Scars can be hot. It's down your leg. I don't know. That might be hot. I don't know. I gotta see what the scar looks like. I think the one, where it goes down the eye on chicks. I think that's hot too. But that's just me. But OP, you are not the beehole. You are in the right. And no, you should not have to hide your scar because someone feels uncomfortable. That is her problem. That is the hump she needs to get over. OP, you are not the beehole. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.